Hello, my pleasure people. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about hormones. I've had some of my clients ask this question, and it's asked a lot, so I felt it necessary to do a little discussion about hormones. And I know as women, we know some things about our hormones, but sometimes I don't know if we know enough. And I feel like we use the term balancing hormones a lot, but we don't know exactly what that means. So I wanted to talk about EPT, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. I'm talking about these because one of the primary reasons that I see women or women seek me out is to talk about their libido. Why don't I have a desire anymore? What is going on with me? I used to be such a fierce kitten. I used to be able to swing from the chandeliers. Now, when my partner comes home, it's like, get away from me, or why don't I have a desire anymore? And that's for some women. There are others who would make comments like, oh, if I never have intimacy in a sexual way again, it won't be too soon for me. But a lot of times, what these women don't understand is that this is all coming from your hormones. Short of things that we can't prevent, things like trauma, don't know what a lot of women's background experiences are, things like rape or any negative sexual experience may also play a role into this. But outside of all of that, your everyday normal woman who is typically rambunctious in the bedroom and all of a sudden feel like, where did that go? This discussion is for that woman. So, going back to EPT, estrogen and progesterone are hormones that do different things to our bodies. They are responsible, especially estrogen. We call her Queen Bee because she really is. Estrogen rules and dominates. And once we start to hit a certain age, I feel safe in saying 40, but I'm telling you, because of our environment now and our exposure to chemicals and other things, we're seeing symptoms of um, estrogen leaving the scene earlier than 40 in some women. And for some women, they've had surgeries that hysterectomies, and for some of our women with endometriosis, they may see these signs of estrogen depletion sooner than the 40. But let's talk about, we don't have any of that. We have not had a hysterectomy. We don't have endometriosis. And we don't have anything special going on before the age of 40. Let's just now say at 40, we need to start understanding, or we need to welcome the changes that will happen. Not perhaps they'll happen. Estrogen is going to take her leave anyway. And the more prepared we are as women for that day, the better our journey will be. Every woman, every single woman on the spectrum will experience this journey in a different way. But all of us, if we are prepared, can better manage the symptoms when they come along. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things that start to change, I am not even going to talk about hot flashes because everyone knows hot flashes and seem to end the conversation at hot flashes, but it's more than that. Your libido takes a huge hit at this time for most women, but not for every woman. All right, so estrogen is like, this is our natural antidepressant. This estrogen functions a lot like antidepressants in our bodies. So, again, this is my natural antidepressant and it's going away. How am I going to begin to feel here shortly? So it's good for what the other good things that estrogen hangs around for is your brain function. Another thing we hear women complain about is this brain fog. This, what the heck is happening to my memory? Like, Jesus Christ, all of a sudden I can't remember anything. Well, this brain fog, again, as estrogen takes her departure, starts to mess with our brain chemicals and we become forgetful. Yeah. Mhm. But there are things we can do to help fortify our brain function, our bone function, and our heart function in the absence of this bully. I call her a bully simply because she rules over everyone. And when she leaves, it's just, oh my God, am I dying? Okay. Estrogen also helps to fight inflammation. And do we need to talk about inflammation? All of a sudden, our bodies hurts for no reason. And when our bodies start to exist in a constant state of inflammation, when we have this ongoing inflammatory response in our body, we may as well start to expect other illnesses to follow. Okay? We won't, for a later conversation, I'll bring stress in and this increased inflammatory state and all that we can experience with that. But for today, let's stick with the EPT and why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Progesterone. Now, another symptom that women would often complain about is their lack of ability to sleep well. You now start to hear things like, oh my God, I went to bed so late last night, only got 4 hours of sleep, only got 3 hours of sleep, or I tossed and turned all night. Well, progesterone helps you sleep better. It helps with your bones as well, and maybe not so exciting for some of us today, but the uterus's job, the progesterone's job also helps the uterus to prepare the uterus for a fertilized egg. You see, I stumbled on that because I don't want anything to do with a fertilized egg right now. But for my women who want to achieve fertilization, progesterone needs to play an active role, and these are some levels that need to be optimal if you're looking to conceive. Okay, so it is important that we have the right balance of these hormones in our body, because what happens is when you have too much estrogen, here she is, and not enough progesterone, we go into a state called estrogen dominance. And it's as if she wasn't dominant already. This, with progesterone being lower, creates this state of estrogen dominance. And what does that lead to? What does that look like in your body? Decreased sex drive and mood swings. Now, I don't know who feels like getting all close and lovey and cuddly when we're experiencing mood swings. This is the time when people start to say, oh, she must be PMSing. Yeah, it's happening because your hormones are doing this. It's all over the place. Now, so that's estrogen dominance. Now, what happens when the estrogen is low? Now she's low. Things start to become painful when she's low. So, with the departure of estrogen, you experience vaginal dryness and discomfort in that area simply because of the lack of lubrication. So she goes, she takes her bag and the lubrication with her. Bleep, bleep. Now we need daily or several times a week vaginal moisturizers that we need to use, and lubricant for the time that we're about to hit the play button and go play in the shop. So we need a vaginal moisturizer to maintain us on a daily basis from the itching and burning that occurs because of low estrogen. But sometimes that moisturizer is not enough for that moment because, let's face it, one of the reasons why sex becomes so pleasurable is because of lubrication. Lubrication. Well, when she packed her bags and left and took lube with her, you ain't had enough. Sex becomes painful, and so you need to do your part by adding lubrication. So there. The other thing is testosterone. See, now we all thought that, oh, well, that has nothing to do with me. Testosterone is a man's hormone. No, it's not. You have testosterone too, and it plays an important role in energy for women, motivation, mood in terms of self-esteem and stuff. It is also responsible for like our competitive drive, our sex drive, and libido. Okay. This hormone can also be low when you're past the 40 number. low sex drive, mood changes. So here you have estrogen who took your libido with her. You have progesterone that made you irritable and not in the mood. And then you have testosterone over here, the T, that took the drive and the mood again. So when you ask, why do I feel this way? Where did my desire go? It went when Lady Estrogen packed her bags and left your home. And now we have a responsibility to replace, optimize, balance, fix those hormones. And so if you want your desire, your drive, your old rambunctious you to return, you need to fix and supplement those hormones that took a vacation. Some of them took a vacation, some of them just left. And if she's left kaput, gone for good, then we have to talk about more long-term solutions to supplement and to help us optimize our sex lives. All right, hopefully that helps.